bit of rattle on the mic, but we got there in the end. Leeds' last 6 results. Have a look at this. I mean, Steve was talking about that. It has been a bit crazy, isn't it? But I know this is becoming a cliche now, but they are fantastic to watch, whether they win, lose or draw.
That's the whole thing with Leeds and I suppose Bielsa. It is a roller coaster of emotions, results, but I think when people are saying they need to change when you're looking at those results when they do lose, but if they win today, they're in the top half of the Premier League, a side that's just been promoted.
With what Graham said, you hope managers then bringing in his own players, and it's a constant, you're just trying to put a plaster over a short-term fixture.
All that they are playing, I suppose just then the criticism is if they do change, they can pick up even more points.
I think they're the massive entertainers, aren't they? Is it 30 goals, 33 conceded? Bielsa,
that game, because look, it's
genius,
the games are coming thick and fast at the moment, and we will get these performances.
It is.
But the one thing that you said about this sort of
the changes he made last
slight revival under Mikel Arteta was that the energy levels had gone up, but that's not what we saw in this game.
I think it's easy. I can sit here and be totally, well, you can be frustrated with the performance, but I think it's again a reality check of where this Arsenal team are, and the fact that we're talking about relying on the youngsters in this
relegation fight at the moment. We're looking over their shoulder now. Could Sheffield United do it? Could they start to...
Both play attractive football, but then you've got a Leeds teams that are able to actually pick up points where Brighton are struggling and could, like you said, be pulled into that.
Graham, you wouldn't walk off.
You don't forget what if he's injured. He's injured. He's screaming at people. I'm injured. If you watch Xhaka,
desperately need some goals, as we were all saying. Now, Manchester City face Crystal Palace tomorrow night, looking to make it 5 wins on the bounce. One of those was against Brighton, of course. That's in stark contrast to how they began the season. Let's see what Mr. Guardiola makes of it all.
Now, I'm trying to look at a bigger picture for Arsenal, and you know the headlines are going to be all again, the pressure's on Mikel Arteta. Is he the right man? A young coach coming in, can he handle this?
Game
I think
over.
we need to look at the bigger picture and
8 games unbeaten, up to 3rd in the table. And while they're watching, these two were discussing what they were going to talk about. And Alex said, "You're the defender, Martin. You talk about them at the back. I'm the attacking fullback. I'll talk about them going forward."
She was a fullback.
Attacking fullback, modern day fullback.
Go on, more goals than you, Martin. So you're going to...
Ladies first, you talk about Foden.
No, we'll start. Go on. Defend
I
him.
particularly like Stones.
You can't think that an England manager's had much more to deal with than this one.
I think sometimes, and that's when you look at Gareth Southgate and from when he took the job over to what we managed to do at the World Cup in terms of getting fans back on side and excited and connected with this England side. I think that's the kind of the disappointment that you feel at the moment, because when we're sitting here and we're talking about disciplinary and we've heard Martin Tyler in commentary, it is the off the field stuff. You've had 8 players missing.
You said at the start of the programme you still feel Liverpool are going to win the league this season.
I do. I said that at the beginning of the season, and I don't see any reason to change that. But City will push them, of course, all the way.
Okay, and are you going to focus on Foden, or are you thinking more broadly about their attacking prowess?
I love how Martin changed his tone when he said, you know, it's that smooth tiki-taka football. So the smooth player I want to talk about is Phil Foden, because I think he's now getting a run in terms of starting, and I think he's really changed them. And when they have been struggling for goals, he's been the player to step up. I think he's their top goal scorer with scoring 8 so far this season. So I think he's been an important part of where them climbing up the table this season.
You feel an extra pressure for Foden, don't you? Because we all want him to stay in the team, being biased English, looking to the summer.
Why are you talking about my attacking players, Martin?
You're on your just thought I'd share.
You're only allowed to talk about the defence.
I did get 2 goals for England, but you got 12 apparently.
I got 12, yeah.
But you talk about that pressure. A lot of that came from replacing David Silva as well, didn't it? And that's been a big miss. I know he's not saying he's the new David Silva, but it's a slot to move into as well.
Yeah, and I think there was an element of trying to protect him from that, but I think he is delivering now week in and week out. Well, midweek as well.
You're not allowed to talk about anything else. Now, Reading's Vlečko Paunovic is a new name in the Championship. He's guided the team into the playoff positions. There is, and their game against Brentford was called off today, so we had a free weekend to chat to Clint.
See it in his performances, he's just loving winning matches for Tottenham.
He certainly seemed to be delighted with the way it's going when he spoke to Jeff after the game. Is it not a...
That's an interesting insight, isn't it? And just to let you know, their game is off today, as we mentioned, with Brentford. That's one of 7 games not taking place this weekend in the EFL. One game definitely on. It's a 3 o'clock match in the Premier League. It's West Ham taking on Burnley. And Will Perry, as you can see, is in position for final score. Afternoon to you, Will. So what can we expect from this one?
That game, because look, it's the games are coming thick and fast at the moment, and we will get these performances. But the one thing that you said about this sort of slight revival under Mikel Arteta was that the energy levels had gone up, but that's not what we saw in this game.
I think it's easy. I could sit here and be totally... Well, you can be frustrated with the performance, but I think it's, again, a reality check of where this Arsenal team are and the fact that we're talking about relying on the youngsters.
And also, just to remind you, all the goals on Match of the Day tonight. And West Brom have definitely scored one. Pereira has got the goal. They're taking on Wolves this afternoon. And if they do win, that would be the first win in the Premier League under Sam Allardyce for them. Now, just to let you know, for those of you who've watched this programme for many years, some sad news to tell you about the
Arsenal team. This season, when you look at it, it's about trying to climb the table. And
it's a pleasure with you too. We'll leave you with a lovely bit of archive. This is Liverpool-Manchester United from 27 years ago. It was a classic. Enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.
It's huge.